Gadget World for the best technical advice.
Hello people, welcome to the all-new episode of Gadget World. This program is mainly meant to entertain you people with information on latest technologies and gadgets. Welcome to the show. Today we have a bunch of gadgets in our kitty, and the first in the series is Nokia Lumia 530. Nokia Lumia 530, its main attraction is its reasonable pricing, and it has all those specifications similar to that of the rest of the smartphones in the industry. The first gadget we have for you is Nokia Lumia 530. Nokia Lumia 530 is quite an impressive smartphone in the low-end market segment, and it's claimed to give quite a good hardware and software specifications and decent offerings. Now let's get to know more about the display features, the camera facilities, and the more hardware and software features that this particular smartphone has got to offer for us. So here's the Nokia Lumia 530 handset, and moving on to the display features, well, it comes in a pocket-friendly display size of 4-inch display, and that is quite handy to be carried around, and it has got a WVGA screen resolution of 480 by 854 pixels. So from this we can quite well understand that the display is very much basic and it doesn't show much of an advancement. Moving on to the camera features of Nokia Lumia 530. Well, it has got a primary camera, as we can see at the back. It's a 5 megapixel camera, and it is coupled with a dual LED flashlight, so it helps in taking good photography. Obviously it helps in taking good photography, but this Nokia Lumia 530 becomes a weak contender when it comes to the imaging department, obviously because of the lack of a front facing camera, like especially in a season or especially in a generation where taking of selfies is at the trend. The lack of a front-facing camera is another downside of this particular smartphone. The Nokia Lumia 530 also gives the provision of transferring downloaded data into the micro SD card slot. So that is yet another added advantage of this particular smartphone. Moving on to the processor details of this Nokia Lumia 530, well, it runs on a processor that is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 200 chipset processor that houses a 1.2 GHz of quad-core, and that's paired with a 512 MB of RAM. So this processor is claimed to render quite a decent graphic performance, as well as the processing power is quite good. Moving on to the battery backup facilities that this Nokia Lumia 530 has got to provide. Well, it provides a battery capacity of 1430 mAh. That means it provides around 10 hours of talk time, 528 hours of standby time, and 51 hours of music playing. So that is quite on par, or maybe quite better than the rest of the smartphones that's available in the industry. Now let's move on to the pros and cons of this Nokia Lumia 530 handset. Well, summing up the pros, not to mention is obviously about the expandable storage facility that is providing with its OneDrive cloud storage facility provided by the Microsoft. Yes, obviously because it's a Windows Phone 8.1, runs on a Windows Phone 8.1 operating system, this expandable storage of 15 GB by using a OneDrive cloud storage facility is an added advantage, and also it can be expanded up to 128 GB by using a micro SD card slot. So that is with the good sides of this Nokia Lumia 530. And moving on to the cons, that's the downside of this particular smartphone is obviously with the internal storage facility that is got to offer. Yes, it is available only with an internal storage facility of 4 GB, and that is a downside of this particular smartphone. So moving on to the final verdict of Nokia Lumia 530. For all the users out there who is looking out for a decent smartphone from Nokia with quite good specifications and decent offerings and decent hardware specifications, and that too within a reasonable price range, here's Nokia Lumia 530, and that is available at an affordable price range of 7,349. The next gadget we have for you is Lava Iris X5. Well, it is quite a good offering in the entry-level market segment with decent hardware specifications, and that too with impressive camera features. So now let's move on to the display features, the camera facilities it's offering, and about the hardware and software features of this particular smartphone. About the operating system of Lava Iris X5, well, it runs on an Android 4.4.2 KitKat operating system, and it's claimed to give quite decent performance. And about the standard connectivity aspects, well, it is claimed to give almost all the basic connectivity aspects like Bluetooth 4.0, Wi-Fi, 3G, GPS, and it's even available with the dual SIM functionality, and also the USB OTG facility is provided to transfer data between different devices. Now moving on to the storage facilities that this Lava Iris X5 is providing. Well, it provides an internal storage of 8 GB which can be expanded up to 32 GB by using a micro SD card slot. So this great internal storage facility is quite competing and also quite satisfactory for the users out there. Now let's sum up the pros and cons of Lava Iris X5. The best thing that you can talk about this particular smartphone is obviously its camera features. Yes, it provides a really good imaging experience to the users out there with its 8 MP of rear camera and also 5 MP of front facing selfie shooter, and these two is also coupled with a dual LED flashlight which helps in taking really good images. So that is one of the best aspects that you can talk about this Lava Iris X5. Talking about the cons of Lava Iris X5, well, fortunately or unfortunately we are not left with much of the cons to be specified about this smartphone. Yes, obviously because of the fact that it provides a lot of really good specifications in the camera as well as display features, and it doesn't show much of a drawback in any particular aspect. Like even in the rest of the aspects in the hardware and software features, it is quite basic, and it's also quite in par with the rest of the technologies in the smartphones that's available. So there is no much drawback that you can talk about this particular smartphone, and it is available in an affordable price range of 8,649. Moving on to the final verdict of Lava Iris X5, well, this particular smartphone is a really good offering in the entry-level market segment with its great offerings in the camera as well as display features. That too within affordable price range of just rupees 8,649. So why wait, guys? Go and grab this particular smartphone which has got a lot to offer for you. Next gadget we have for you is from Apple, and that is Apple iPhone 6 Plus. Yes, to all the Apple fanboys out there who is eagerly awaiting to grab this particular smartphone from Apple, here's those impressive specifications that you have got to notice before getting to grab this particular smartphone. So let's get to know more about the specifications, the camera features, the display features, and all that you want to know about your favorite device. Apple has given its iPhone 6 Plus a 5.5-inch display with a Retina HD resolution of 1920 by 1080 pixels, and it is available with a pixel density of 401 pixels per inch. So from this we can quite well understand that the screen is pretty much advanced, and it is going to give really good pixel clarity and also imaging experiences. So that is with the main display features that you can talk about this Apple's iPhone 6 Plus. Moving on to the operating system of Apple iPhone 6 Plus, well, it runs on an iOS 8 operating system, and that is claimed to give quite really good decent performance, and it provides almost all the basic standard connectivity aspects similar to its Apple iPhone 6, and also compared with its Apple iPhone 6, this version of Apple's iPhone 6 Plus is claimed to give around 3 times better Wi-Fi. So that is with the display features and the standard connectivity aspects of Apple iPhone 6 Plus. Talking about the camera features that Apple iPhone 6 Plus is providing, well, it has got a primary camera of 8 megapixel that uses an eyesight camera, which also uses a true tone hardware similar to its predecessor Apple iPhone 6, that helps in getting really good image stabilization, crystal clear images, and also faster face detection, and autofocus is made easier with this true tone hardware to capture the images in Apple's iPhone 6 Plus. So that is with the best aspects that you can talk about the camera features that Apple iPhone 6 Plus is providing for the users. The Apple iPhone 6 Plus has got a front-facing camera of 1.2 MP that is capable of taking burst shot modes. And moving on to the storage facilities that the Apple iPhone 6 is providing, well, it is available in 3 variants similar to the Apple iPhone 6, like 16 GB, 64 GB, and 128 GB of internal storage facility. Now moving on to the battery backup features that the Apple iPhone 6 Plus has got to offer us, well, its non-removable battery is claimed to be quite juicy, providing about 24 hours of talk time and 14 hours of video playing on 3G. The Apple iPhone 6 Plus is available at a price range of Rs 62,500 for a 16 GB internal storage. The next gadget we have for you is Canon SX600. Yes, it's a camera from the Canon, and it is kind of a step down model from the Canon SX700HS model. Well, if you expect that there is going to be a difference in the imaging quality between these two cameras, well, fortunately or unfortunately, I have to say that we don't find much of a difference between the two. But the good aspect is that the imaging quality is really good. Yes, both these cameras, especially the Canon SX600HS camera that we are discussing right away, renders a really good imaging quality. What's most important about this camera is that its lens is low. Yes, it has got a narrow maximum aperture, meaning that it takes in more light and also has slower shutter speed, especially when we try to capture images by using zoom to avoid the blur. So that is yet another downside of this Canon SX600HS model. Another good important aspect of this Canon SX600 model from Canon is obviously because it has got a really good video capturing capability. Yes, it can capture videos of about 1080 pixels, and you can also use the zoom feature that is available to capture images and also while using videos. While capturing videos, I have to say, but even though you can use this Canon SX600HS zoom features, you will have problem with the camera's motor. Yes, you can hear this camera's motor spinning at lower scenes. So that is yet another drawback that you can point about this Canon SX600. Moving on to the pros and cons of Canon SX600HS model. Well, first let's sum up the good things of this particular camera. It captures images, like it captures really good quality images as well as videos. Moving on to the cons of this particular camera, like we have to mention that the lens is slow. As we have already mentioned, it has got a slower shutter speed that takes in more light and a lesser shutter. So we have problem while capturing, while we have problem while zooming images to capture images where to avoid the blur. This SX600HS model from Canon is available at a price range of Rs 12,995. Guys, with this we are coming to the end of this show. Hope you enjoyed this particular program, and until we meet again in the next episode, it's me Devi Narayan signing off. Bye and take care.